Look at this. Solid steel and sex appeal. That's what makes this special. Look at this thing. What makes this thing special? Look at this. Solid steel and sex appeal. That's what makes this special. Look at this thing. I mean, this is a fucking truck. Like this is what, if you look up truck in the dictionary, and it's got to be a picture of C5. It's not a picture of that. Like, come on, let's be real. Like that's all fucking real right there, man. That's the real deal. It's just all. I mean, the cab is not a lot different, and the sleeper, like that part, the hood forward is all different than any other truck. That's what they call a butterfly hood, because it folds up. That doesn't go ahead, and then you get side panels that you pull out. They say they pull them out for cooling. Sure, whatever. I've never pulled them out. I've never had no problems cooling, and I've pulled some fucking big loads with this truck. So, but yeah, the cab and the sleeper are pretty much like just a pack car Kenworth, but the hood, fenders, this bumper, Lennox does that kind of stuff. It's all aftermarket stuff, right? Pretty standard on a C5 though to have a bumper similar to this. There's a bunch of guys that build them out in Alberta. Well, they build them all over the world, but yeah, I mean, everything's this. I mean, we got lots of custom stuff on it. Oh, this is custom. This headache rack's all custom. This is built by Camex, but we customized it. But I mean, you can just see it's like just everything's solid steel. It's just like a lot of it's triple framed, and I mean, it don't ride as nice as that new Western Star, if I can tell you that right now. It's stiff, it's rigid, right?
Built for the bush?
But it's built for the bush. Look at these fucking bastards. Fuck. That pisses me off. This is the shit that fucking irks me. No respect. See, I don't get in here with my boots on. But the mechanics sure as fuck do. Yes, and then there's the interior. There. Home. See, it's just home, right? It's been sitting here a while. The real McCoy. Oh yeah! Who's your daddy? Ah. Oh yeah! Ah. I don't ever have my shoes on. Ah. This is home. This is where it's at right here. But see the Jake switch. There's your hazard. You got your Jake switch on, off. 1, 2, 3. It's on there. These are, now this is a little different. Not a lot of trucks have this, but I got 2 spikes on here. One's for the truck and one's for the trailer. A lot of people, the real truck drivers have a few of them picked that up on the show and whatnot. It's like, hey, there's 2 handles there. What are they for? One's for the truck and one's for the trailer. And it's for the winching part of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just This is just all fucking truck right here. This is all man right here. This isn't a fucking them they situation. That's a them they. This knows what it is. This is all fucking man right here. This is a passion truck, this one. I mean, this was, you know, me and everybody that I know just asking them, what do you think? What do you think? What should we do? Like, I'm not one of those guys that just tries to build things. Like, I keep a lot of shit quiet, a little bit of a secret of what I'm doing, but I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this with this color and that? And I wanted to keep with a, like, I really wanted to go with a Vegas theme, to tell you the truth. So that's why we call this the Joker. And you can see there's dice and women and booze and fucking boobs and, you know what I mean? It's called the Joker. And I wanted to go with a darker gray, silver, black chrome, because the outside of my trucks are black and chrome, right? So I wanted to kind of keep that, but dull it down a little bit on the inside, because you want black and chrome on the inside. So this is about as close as you can get. And I mean, we're loggers, so I wanted to build a steering wheel that resembled a tree. Something as close as we could get to a tree. Well, I don't know that you could get much closer. This was built in our shop. Brad Holmes built this. And it just goes to show you how passionate he is about things too. He doesn't work here anymore, but you can see he's still a good friend of mine. He works over at Western Star. I mean, he helped rig that truck up. And I mean, he built this. I said, Brad, I want it to resemble a tree. And I left him with it. And 2 weeks later, he fucking comes into my office with this, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We worked awesome together with that shit. Like, if I had millions and millions of dollars, he would work for me. And he might not work for 2 weeks, and then I'd wake up one morning, hey Brad, I got a fucking idea. And his mind and my mind, I can have an idea, and he knows how to bring that idea to fruition. Like, he just knows how to turn it, and this is what he did. I mean, he even put this on his lathe and went around to make it look like growth rings on the stump. I mean, that was just something I didn't. I mean, and all this is just a piece of pipe. He got a piece of pipe about this big around and about 15 feet long, and he chopped it into angles, and then he just took his welding rod and welded on it to make it look like bark. And then every once in a while, he stopped his pass and made it a little bit of a pile, and then just zipped that off with a fucking grinder to make it look like where the limbs were, right, where the branches were. That's all he did. Huh. That's it. And then we had it, and then we hit it with a a brush on an angle grinder to kind of bring out some of the color, and then we clear coated it, and here you are. And then he did the same thing with this. This is just a tree. See the branches that are cut off of it? We were gonna leave the branches on it and make it, I was like, no, fuck, it'll get hung up everywhere. It'll be just a fuck show. And then I just wanted the dice on top, like a kind of a Vegas thing, because I'm a Vegas guy, right? I love Vegas. Everything about Vegas I love. And it's not about the gambling and all that bullshit. It's just I love the town, the city, the state. I just love it down there. So yeah, everything's custom. I won these at a truck show. These Lebeau on them. Or did I win these? Or did I have one of my truck drivers? I think Ryan Ellis, actually. He had those made for me for this truck. And yeah, but the only thing that's really stock in here is kind of, you know, not my own. Is like this piece of stainless around these dots. Like, couldn't really do much with that. And I didn't want it to run all this stuff through. It's a nice break, because this is the functional part of the truck. It's got to be. And this little chrome piece here is the same. But other than that, the seats and the pedals you can see are all Kenworth pedals. I got them from the States. I mean, you guys can buy this stuff. This is shit that was bought. But I mean, yeah, a lot of this stuff is it's all custom. I even got hard hats back there to match this. So these seats are all aftermarket and whatnot. Yeah, so
one of a kind.
Oh, this is absolutely one of a kind of a truck. I had it sat down in the Las Vegas. They built a brand new Kenworth dealership down there, and they had a huge showroom. And during COVID, they just couldn't get trucks. So I knew the manager down there, and he's like, that big truck of yours, that C500, what do you do with that? And I said, no, it sits most of the winters. He says, would you consider bringing that down here, putting it in my showroom? I said, absolutely. And so I took it down to Vegas, took it to a polish shop in Vegas. They polished it right up, and it sat in the fucking showroom in the Las Vegas Kenworth for about 1.5 years. Just sat there. It was fucking cool. And they had people from all over the states coming to Vegas, like not specifically to see the truck, but going for trips to Vegas, and they heard about the truck being down there. Like people from all over the United States went to Vegas with their families and made a point of going out to Kenworth to get a picture with this fucking truck and see this truck. And they were truck driver guys, right? So anyways, yeah, so
Pretty cool.
yeah, so that's kind of what goes on there. So yeah, no, this is definitely one of a kind. Got a fucking stereo system in here that'll blow your fucking mind.
Your pride and joy.
Oh, well, of trucks.
Of trucks.
My pride and joy of trucks, for sure. I mean, yeah, when I bought this truck, it was just plain Jane white truck. It was good truck. It had 200,000 on it or something. I can't remember. But I bought it out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I had it shipped all the way back here, and then we tore it right down. As you can see, like, we tore it right down. I got lots of pictures of this dash right out of here, like nothing in here at all. It was, and then yeah, those are that's actually granite floors. That's like 1-inch granite floors. I tried to get people to cut. I went to a couple of places in town, and I'm like, the piece of granite I know what I want. And eventually I just ended up buying the piece of granite, the whole fucking piece. They were just being dicks about it. And I said, I got the piece of granite I want, but nobody will cut this for me. And I said, this is what I want. And they said, well, what's it for? I said, it's for the floor of my Kenworth. Oh, we're not doing that. We can't, that won't work. Can't do that. I'm like, listen to me. I want you to cut these 4 pieces for me, and this is the diagram I want you to cut. Oh, no, can't do that. It's not a countertop. So after about the 3rd place in town, I took my pieces to another outfit, Cami Countertops, I think it was. He went inside the shop, and I said, hey, I got these 4 pieces. I said, I got a real intricate fucking countertop that I'm putting together here. I know it's kind of messed up, but it's just I got a bunch of faucets and shit, and it's just kind of a little different project I'm doing. Will you cut these for me? Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We cut countertops all the time. But they wouldn't cut it for a fucking floor. It was the same outfit I went there to before, and it was a different guy. Oh yeah, that's no problem. We cut countertops. We'll cut that for you. And they cut it out for me. I took a picture of it, and I went back to the guy, and I said, oh, here's the pieces you cut for the floor. And he goes, yeah, well, they won't last. I said, that was a year ago. They're fine. So I put down, you know the way you put down that shit when you put the shit on the floor or whatever, that underlay or whatever? Yeah. So I put that stuff down. Me and Sandy did this ourselves. Really? Me and Sandy did this ourselves one fucking Friday night in this shop, right in that bay. And we got these pieces, and we put down we scraped everything out, right down to nothing, sanded any of the bumps down, any of the rivets that were in the floor. We made a little bump where it was on the back side of the granite just to make sure, but we still had that underlay that would take that up, but we even made a little divot just to make sure. And it took us about 5 hours, and we put this all in here, and it's 4 pieces, right? So that if the cab does move, this can move, right? Because the underlay is glued down, and then the adhesive that I used on the back side of the granite never really sets up. It's almost like a rubber. Like it glues down, but it doesn't. It allows it to move a little bit, because this thing torques, and I'm sure the main floor panel in here will torque a little bit. So anyways, and then I just put these strips of aluminum. I'm not real happy about those strips, but they work. And I keep saying they work for now. It's been 3 or 4 fucking years now, so they're still there. But one day I'll do something a little different there. But yeah, I mean, we did, you know, I see I'm missing a button. Yeah, that's actually one of the, all these aren't screws. That one's a screw that actually screws to the roof. The rest of them are just fake. There's only like maybe 10, and that fucker fell off. And I did have it at one point. They probably still do.
So I guess this is your creative side.
I guess so. Everybody's got to have a creative side. I guess you could call this my creative side.